Fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo, today we're doing a Panerai video and a super exclusive one at that, so let's check it out. This new arrival we just got here at SwissWatchExpo is awesome, and it is a super rare piece to my understanding too. This is a Panerai Luminor Ginza Boutique Edition, and the Ginza Boutique actually refers to the specific store in Japan that this was an exclusive for. And I thought it would be interesting to refer to the Ginza district in Tokyo where this store is based, because it's actually a pretty interesting story and a very interesting part of town for anyone who's ever been there. It is definitely their sort of luxury shopping district, and there is a lot of it there. You can definitely compare it to Japan's answer to Rodeo Drive or Madison Avenue, if you would. Pretty much all of the high-end Western luxury shops can be found there. Just a quick glance, pretty much all the names you would expect to see there, your Gucci's, your Pradas, your Louboutins, Jimmy Choo's, etc., as well as pretty much all of the luxury Swiss watchmakers there. In fact, I think the Richemont Group actually has all of their individual brands, or at least most of their boutiques, all on a single street in this Ginza district. So if you are into shopping and into buying luxury goods and you are there, that is the place to go. And you definitely can't talk watchmaking in Japan without mentioning it, because it is also the headquarters of the Seiko Corporation, which is of course Japan's largest watchmaker and definitely their most popular one here in the States. I don't know if they were founded there, but their headquarters are definitely based there now, and it's one of the more impressive buildings in that part of town if you get a chance to take a look at it online. So anyway, that is my brief travel guide to a city I've never been to before. So let's talk about the watch. This is an incredible looking Panerai, and it's always unique. Two things right off the bat that's going to set it apart from a lot of other Panerais you've seen: the blue dial and the bracelet, which is very similar to the other Luminor bracelets I've seen. I've seen the inverted links appear to be proportionally ever so slightly different, but these super rare one-off boutique editions, you're going to see very subtle tweaks to them, but they're definitely not going to reinvent the wheel, and that kind of goes for all brands. But the blue dial is incredible. It is a sandwich dial, which, if you're asking me, is the only way to go when you go Panerai, but I'm sure I'm going to upset a lot of Paneristas out there who might feel otherwise. But it is incredible looking contrast you get in these layers. The sandwich dial, for people who don't know, it's a solid luminescent layer that is underneath the dial, and so that does sort of give you this three-dimensional look. Well, it is a three-dimensional look because it is sort of depressed into the dial, which is where you're going to see these markers and numbers, and you do have the traditional sort of script there that Panerai is known for, the inverted 6 and 9 character. I just absolutely love this. So while this is a unique and rare Panerai, it's certainly not going to be that big of a departure from some of your favorite Luminors in the past. The case is 44 millimeters. I think it's a really great size. Might be a little large for some people, but Panerai is a large watch, ideally built for large people. And this does kind of set it apart from a lot of the other Japanese exclusives we've had, especially considering the Japanese exclusive Omega Speedmasters that have come to mind. Beautiful watches, some of my favorites, but a very traditional size, very old school and classic. To my understanding, the tastes there do run a little bit smaller. So this is definitely a big, I would almost say ugly American watch by comparison. It's a 44 millimeters. It's massive. It is by far the largest Japanese exclusive watch I have ever seen, but I wouldn't expect anything different from Panerai, and neither should you. The movement that powers this is a P9010 movement, which is a pretty popular one that's in a lot of their movements. It's a 31 jewel movement, which looks beautiful on the other side of this exhibition caseback, and does have a 3-day power reserve as well. No indicator on the dial. They left it relatively clean with just the 6, 9, 12 and date window. But I also really do love the bright blue colored second hand. You'll see this on a lot of different Panerai models, but I do think it is done to very great effect here. Other than that, you do have the butterfly style clasp here on this bracelet, which I do think is a really rugged and really powerful looking bracelet. But again, like so many other things about this watch, just because it's unique, just because you probably won't see this for sale elsewhere, it does not mean that this is giving up any of the Panerai DNA. You certainly would not confuse this for anything other than a Luminor. And this is why it's such a fantastic watch for any Paneristi, but it's certainly not so esoteric that you would need to be a Paneristi to appreciate this watch. If you are looking to get your first Panerai and want something that's going to set you apart for the other people that have a Luminor in their collection, definitely look at this, because while it is definitely a exclusive exclusive and rare watch. It is not priced that differently from some, I would say, less rare models of Panerai. So if you love this blue dial on a bracelet, don't let the fact that it's a Japanese exclusive scare you off or think that, somehow this could be way outside your budget. Chances are it's probably not that much more than some other Panerais you had your eye on in the past as well. All in all, it's a beautiful watch. Even if you are not into the history of it, you can still appreciate it. And of course, this is a very unique Panerai, but we have a ton of other more traditional radio mirrors and luminors, and of course, a variety of other brands. If you didn't know that already, like and subscribe to our channel so we can show you every week. We're dropping new videos for new arrivals. And of course, we got all the classics, all the hits from Rolex, Omega, Tag Heuer, and a whole lot others at SwissWatchExpo.com.